All right, let's take a look at what we have going on today here. So, what we're going to do to end up our first week here is to look at the different units that are attached to any measurement that you take anywhere. So, these units are placed into the equation along with whatever the actual number is that it goes with. So, for example, if you're measuring the mass of a substance, that could be measured in grams or kilograms, anything like that, just depending on what metric unit you're using. Let's say we've got grams. So we measure some unit or some object and it says that it has a mass of 10 grams, right? Into an equation, you don't just write the number 10. So we've been using the force equation to practice with Excel, our equation building in Excel. And that force equation is force equals mass times acceleration. So you need to, in order to get force, you need to get a mass recording for whatever object is having some force applied to it. Right. So if we were using that equation, we wouldn't just put in the number 10. We would write down 10 grams. Now, I never used to do this. So I would always just put in 10 for the longest time, even again going into college. Years into college, I would still just put the numbers down. I would always ignore putting down what the actual unit of measurement was. And that's just because I was lazy and I didn't want to write a couple of extra letters down. So it wasn't until relatively recently in my life that I realized how important these units are. So not only do they help you track what you're doing within an equation, it can tell you whether you get the correct answer, and it can even tell you what the equation was that led to whatever number you have. So all of that is possible simply by including the units in a math equation. So anytime you put a number in, you put down the units as well. And you carefully track what those units are doing as you move stuff around an equation. So that's what we're going to work on today. It's an extremely valuable skill just in understanding math and saying nothing about the fact that, again, you can check your work at the end of a math equation, and the presence of a unit at the end attached to a number will tell you whether this is actually the correct answer or not. You can check yourself at the end before you ever turn any work in, and you can say, okay, I'm confident this is the unit that I should have ended with. This is the unit that I have here. I'm pretty confident that I did this math question correct, and when I turn it in, I'll get full credit for that question. So our warm up today is just a little quick check on the lecture for homework last night. So I have an equation here, but instead of numbers or anything, just like in the practice, I just put in what the units would be for the values that would go in there. So I'm asking you, when you go about solving this equation at the end, what unit would you have? What would the answer be? The answer would come in what unit? So let's just check that out, and that's what we'll be doing today. So to go back to the agenda, the activity then today is some more practice questions. So I asked you to watch the lecture video again. It's sitting right here. Just again, I upload stuff all over the place. So I'll do a couple of review examples and then click down here. This is the actual practice sheet. And this will be located in Teams here. So if you go over to Teams, here's our assignment. So when you open this up, you're going to see two sheets. One is the actual questions. So these are the questions here too. Again, I upload stuff all over the place. And then this is where you're actually going to put your answers down. So this is the answer workbook. So like I've been telling you, even when pretty much everything that I do, I ask you to put down your responses in a spreadsheet. So that's what we have here. This is where you're going to put your answers down. So this is the response part. You just put down your answer for that particular response right here. So whatever the unit would be that you'd end with here, that's what you put down right there. So that's where the responses will go. Let's see. And then the exit ticket is just a reflection on how the first week went for you. So look at that. We'll open up for you right there in the notebook. And it'll ask you how you feel the first week went for you. So that's what we have right there. So that's our work for today.